Okay, so logged in early. Yeah, so I guess I'm just gonna wait until people show up and start typing. I don't know. I have never done this before, so. Oh, hi, Lindsay. Hi. Hopefully some people show up, but I just wanted to make sure everything.
Hopefully some people show up, but I just wanted to make sure everything. Hopefully some people show up, but I just wanted to make sure everything.
Oh no, my mic is being weird. My mic is being weird. Maybe I should just mute myself. Yeah, that seems to work. Okay. All right. Yes. Okay, we have 3 people. Hi, everyone. I'm gonna wait until 6 to officially start, but yeah, and I have my phone here to look at some of the questions that people have already submitted on Patreon. There should also be a place for you guys to type other questions if you have any, and I'm gonna go over this again at 6. I don't know if anybody else is gonna join us, but if they do, great. If they don't, they don't. And then it's just us, and I'll just be going over the questions people already asked. But yeah. Wow, this is really high-tech looking. Interesting. Actually, I'm going to bring the screen closer. Yes, and you can all see my double chin. Yeah. Okay, so and I just got my tea. Ooh, that is hot. That is steaming. Can you guys see the steam coming off of this? Yeah, team double chin. I was worried about that, but I was, I don't know what else to do, so it is what it is. Also, I'm not crazy about the glare from my glasses, so if I'm squinting, it's because I can't see. Okay. Is it 6 yet? It's not 6 yet. So nervous. I wanted my sister to join me, or one of them, and neither of them wanted to, so yeah, I get to solo this. Oh, yeah, I like the look without the glasses. I think that looks better. Just because, glasses create such a glare, it's just not good. Also, I am very sorry if there is a lag in me talking versus the microphone. I am very sorry about that. And hopefully it isn't a huge problem. Almost ready to go. Peach is wondering who I am talking to. I'm talking to myself. You want to say hello? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, stupid dog. Yay! Who are we talking to? She thinks I'm crazy. Okay, hi everybody, and welcome to this live Q&A. It looks like we have a few people, so that's exciting. I was worried it would just be me, but we have Peach and we have you guys, and I am in a weird location, but that's because I have to do this on my computer instead of with my normal camera, so I can read. Hi Zoe! So I can read what people type if anybody's typing anything in. But yeah, so this is for our top tier of patrons. So that's you guys, SheepBees. So yeah, thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. I just wanted to say that first because it really does help. And I know it's not like buying yarn, so you don't get that extra, thing of yarn for supporting us. But I hope that getting this little bit more of an exclusive one-on-one is good. I don't know. I'm hoping to do some more exciting stuff in the future, but for now, this is what we're doing. And look, I'm blushing because I'm too excited to look. Yeah, you get to buy yarn early. I'm so excited and nervous that I'm blushing. So yeah. Hi, Hannah. All right, so let's get into some of these questions. And you guys can type in questions or follow-up questions. On your computer, you should be able to see a little chat box that you can type things. I'm not sure what that looks like for you guys, but for me, I just see it on the right-hand side of my screen. But I'm going to start by answering some of the questions that people posted in the Patreon thread. So I'm going to go in order. And some we may hop back and forth depending on what people asked. But I'm just going to go in order of the comments because that's just easier for me. Hi, Heather. Thanks for joining us. And California sounds so nice right now. It is rainy and stormy and awful here today. It's not good. We did need the rain though because we just got the pasture planted and hopefully it turns into an actual pasture after it rains. Actually, like if something grows, that would be great. But anyways, getting off track. So Zoe asked, I believe, 2 questions. One I answered, but it was about the Outlander Cal. But Zoe asked 2 questions, so we're going to go with those 2 first. Her first is, does it annoy you when people knit your patterns but tweak/change them? And that is a really, really, really good question. I don't mind for the most part. In fact, I think it's really cool when people take one of my patterns and they kind of make their own twist on it. I would say that my least favorite part is when like Queen Bee does it with my gathering shawl pattern, and that's because she'll do these changes that then I can't use it as a show sample or like take photos of it and use it as an exact sample because then we'll have people asking, "Oh, how do you knit this? How do I make this exact shawl?" And I'll be like, "Well, I literally can't help you because Queen Bee just made this up on the spot." So that's pretty much the only time it bothers me. But other than that, like I'm happy when people are inspired by my patterns and they tweak them in their own way. I would say another thing, the only time also that it's weird, and this doesn't happen often, is when somebody changes a pattern and it makes it like they take out like a crucial element of the pattern. And then it's like, well, why didn't you just knit something else? Or like, but I mean, that doesn't really happen. So hopefully my internet doesn't go down this time. Oh my gosh. Like, I had a feeling this was going to happen. So I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Zoe, it sucks. It sucks. Like, it's so bad. Oh man, okay. I can't believe this happened. Of course it did though, you know. Hold on one sec. Have to wait for a couple more people to get in here. Hi. Okay. Hi, guys. I am so sorry about that. So, I know it paused on me looking thoughtful. I was able to see some stuff that people were typing, but the problem is that after my internet quit on me, it did not let me back into the thread. Like, it just didn't let me film anymore. It just kicked me out. And I was trying to find out if this was like user error and I couldn't figure out how to restart it because it said it was still streaming, but I guess it was just a major glitch. So, hi, thank you for being so patient and nice. I am so sorry. I am a mess. Yeah, no, just a bunch of wind started up. So I think that might be part of it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I got I'm pretty sure I was able to answer most of Zoe's first question before that all went down. So let me bring up my question list again. And okay, cool. So Zoe had a second question, and her second question was, Can you just stash as much of your own yarn as you want? Or do I have to buy it from the company? Or do I just get it? So that's like always fun to explain to people because I don't just get anything that I want. Like, and Queen Bee and Sen Bee won't just dye me anything that I want. I usually have to create a really good argument for a pattern that, hi Kate, that I'm going to like design or something before I'm allowed to get any yarn. And if I have too many projects, like too many whips going, I will not be allowed any more yarn. So I am very much, and I'm taking off my glasses because they're annoying me. It is kind of a bummer. I wish I was able to get unlimited yarn, but yeah, no, it's not fair. It's very much not fair. They are pretty nice about letting me get what I do like want if I really, really want it, but like if I ask too often, then they don't let me just get whatever. But at the same time, if I ever do want to do a certain project out of a certain color and they aren't currently dyeing it, I can always ask them, like, hey guys, can you just dye me some of blah, 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 and I want to do this, and then they'll let me. But they don't let me just usually stash like random skeins. Like I'll see a really pretty like lupin and they won't like let me just have that. I do think I do have one Professor Lupin on DK that I was gifted for my birthday. A couple birthdays ago, I got this awesome big box of DK yarn so I can start making DK socks, but I haven't been I haven't been able to. So I'm reading this comment. I haven't been able to work on socks because I'm just, life. Life. Like if you have too many whips starting and whatever, it just gets a mess. So Sakwatri asks, what does that even mean? Too many whips, no more yarn? Yeah. So I currently have 2 sweaters going. 3 if you count this crochet design I'm trying to make a sweater out of. But yeah, they won't let me like I wanted another sweaters quantity and it was basically no Sam. You have to knit that sweater for Bro Bee that you said you would knit, and you have to finish the 2 other sweaters and then maybe we'll talk. And I was like, well, that sucks, but I don't have enough room in my bedroom for an unlimited stash anyway. All of my stash doesn't fit in my room as it is. I have to go up to the attic to get my yarn, which kind of is a bummer. But yeah. Okay, so next question. She asked about the Outlander knit along. That is on Ravelry. So if you have Outlander yarn and you want to join our Outlander knit along, that is in our Ravelry group. Spooky attic yarn. I should show you guys like a video of our attic. I'll do that for the vlog. I'm gonna post the vlog tomorrow because it's just been rainy and I haven't had a chance to do any filming, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So you guys I'll do a little clip of the attic. We have some mannequins from I believe the 40s. Our old-fashioned mannequins, really old Bumblebee Acres fans. Not old, but like you know what I mean. Bumblebee Acres fans that have been around for a while will recognize our old mannequins. We used to bring them to shows, but not really anymore. Stop it, attic mannequins. Like, Kate, you saw my basement. It is spooky. Like, this is a spooky house. Longtime fans. Perfect. Perfect. I should just pay you. Like, Lindsay, I should seriously just pay you to be like the person who helps when my brain doesn't work. But okay, sip of tea, and then we'll get on to Christina, who I don't know if is here right now, but she asked a really good question. And they were all about, well, I should say questions. They're all about, okay. You guys, I am so sorry. I do not know what the heck. I guess we cannot use YouTube because every time my internet stops, they kick me out and they don't let me access anything ever again. So that is a problem. Um, so that is the problem that keeps happening is every time the internet hiccups, it says that it can't reconnect me. So that's a little bit of a problem. I will take all of these videos later and make a one video recap for people to see everything that I said before and only in one video so people don't have to go back and rewatch 4 or 5 different streams we're at this point. So I can't believe it's 6:30 and we've only gotten through 2 questions because technology keeps ruining everything. So I am so sorry, you guys. Thank you for being so understanding. I thought we would have a couple hiccups, like I wouldn't figure out how to get this to work, but I didn't realize we would have so many hiccups that I literally could not get it to keep working. Oh my goodness. And like, I wouldn't even say I'm somebody who's bad at technology. I just have really bad luck with technology. Like, I know what it's supposed to do. It just doesn't do it when I'm supposed to do anything. So, okay, so let's get back to questions. So Christina asked the next one. It is, what is the best part of owning a fiber business? Then she did some follow-up questions, so I'm going to kind of like roll it all into one. She said, would you recommend a fiber business to someone who doesn't own a farm? And any advice to someone who wants to start a fiber business? So, the best part of owning a fiber business, I would say that there's several parts to it. I really like the fact that you have, I have a lot of freedom, like artistic freedom in my day-to-day life. I get to do a lot of different aspects of the business. So I get to do web design, I get to do social media, I get to talk to you guys, I get to do fun stuff like this. I get to create patterns and knit and be around yarn all the time, which is stuff that I love. Living on a farm, I get to be around animals all the time. And that all sounds great. And right now you guys are probably like, well, I want to own a fiber business. Like, why am I not doing that already? Well, because there are some downsides to owning a fiber business. So Christina asked also, would you recommend a fiber business to somebody who doesn't own a farm? Well, I mean, a lot of fiber businesses don't have farms, and that works out great. In fact, not having a farm can be kind of like a benefit in some ways. Having a farm, I think, makes us more down to earth. We are more related to the actual process of where the fiber comes from, and I think that gives us a bit of a different dynamic. It definitely helps us when we apply to like different shows like Maryland Sheep and Wool. It helped us get into Maryland Sheep and Wool that we are a farm as well as a studio, but there are a lot of downsides to having a farm because it costs a lot of money to own a farm. To create wool products from your own wool, it takes a lot of time and money and energy. Like we have to send our Cornwall wool off to be processed into what am I trying to say? Into wool top or into yarn because it's such a greasy fiber that it needs to be commercially cleaned. You can do it by hand. It just would take forever for us to really have any like product at all. Like one fleece could take like 3 weeks to process if we try to do it by hand. And that's like processing it from washing it, skirting it, washing it 5 times, whatever it needs because it's so greasy, spinning it, and then dyeing it. Like it could take like a month for just one fleece. And processing yarn isn't really our passion. We used to do that from the beginning to end our own selves, but we're a little bit more into the raising of the animals and the artistic part of the fiber. And that middle zone is kind of where it gets a little fuzzy for us. I do like to hand spin yarn, and I like to process my own fleece occasionally just for fun, but like it's not something it's not something like I'm in love with. So like, yeah, definitely you can run a fiber business if you don't have a farm. You would just have a different business plan than what Bumblebee Acres is. And would I recommend it to other people? Well, we've been having a fiber business for a very long time. It's been like 9 years since we've been pretty much trying to primarily make Bumblebee Acres Farm a fiber business. We used to do other things like organic farming and what have you. And my mom was always a single mom, so we didn't have a second income. It was just our farming income. And that made it a little difficult financially. Like we used to be in a very, very, very rough spot financially for most of my life growing up. Up until I graduated from college, actually. So that was like literally until very recently. And I guess that building a business, and a lot of people who start fiber businesses or other like, small businesses, and they want to quit their job, they don't understand that it's not like you get customers immediately. You don't get regular customers immediately. You don't have outlets to always find those customers. It was a long, slow build up for us to actually make the fiber end of our business really self-sustainable and what supports our whole farm now. And people don't understand that you have to kind of accept the fact that for the first 2 years of starting a business, you're not going to make any money. And that's pretty much like a golden rule. You don't make any money. In fact, you lose a lot of money oftentimes because all of the energy that you have to put into promoting it. And even while you're not making money, you have to work so hard to make it like you are making money. Like you have to put a full time into this. And a lot of people also aren't built to, well, I guess now with COVID-19, they're realizing working from home is very difficult, and to motivate yourself and to keep yourself doing things. And if you don't have a boss telling you what to do, that can also be very tricky. So there are a lot of rough sides. Losing your financial security, losing benefits you get through work by starting your own business. That's some downsides to having your own business. I mean, at the same time, like it's kind of like living the dream, but you always have that worry. Thanks to awesome patrons like you, like patrons of Patreon, and also our patrons who just support our business in general, we're able to make this work. But without you guys, it literally would not work. And finding you guys took so long, so many years of hard work that I mean, I would say definitely start a fiber business if you feel like you're ready to take it on. But you should really be passionate about it. And if you have savings, make sure you have those savings. Make sure that if you have a significant other, that they're ready to be the main. Love you too. Seriously, love you guys. But yeah, that your significant other, like that they're ready to take on most of the financial burdens until you can get your business off its, well, I mean, I guess on its feet, like, and actually working, and that can take years. So yeah, I think that it helps that my mom started our business and she kind of had 4 built-in employees, her children, and I think that really helped her. Yep, stash estimated 2016. Yep. Yeah, but like even before we found Lindsay, who's been with us for like 4 years now, we were making yarn since like 2009, 2011, and it was not really self-sustainable until 2016. So yeah, that was a long journey. So anyways, that's my real life talk about having a fiber business. Shelby asked, what is your favorite colorway you've ever dyed? So I tried to get one of the dyers to come on the video today, and they did not want to come. So it is just me, and I do not dye any of the yarn currently. I have dyed yarn in the past, but I don't do any of the dyeing now. I would say, so I'm going to answer this from somebody who is around to watch the dyeing process. The ones that I enjoy them making the most are the ones that are mostly speckled. Like, it's really fun to see how, yeah, I know, Kate, I told her and she did not want to do it. Like, she's always a weirdo about being on the video. If you watch the podcast, you will know that Senbee never shows up on the podcast, and I've tried to get her to do it, but she just doesn't. She's super lame. That's why you guys always see me. And then they say, "Oh, Sam, you're so good at it. Sam, you love to be on the video and everything." And I'm like, no, it's just that I'm the only one who does it. So I just buck up Buttercup and do it. But, you know, that's that. But yeah, I like to see speckled colorways done. They always turn out super cool, and there isn't an exact science with speckles, so they can take differently and in different intensities. So it's always kind of like each batch of speckles is like a new, beautiful, one-of-a-kind yarn. Thank you, Heather. Thank you. It's a lot of work, but I mean, it's our passion, so that's why we have stuck with it through the good, the bad, and the ugly, literally. And Shelby asked another question. She said, what are your favorite books / series apart from Harry Potter and Outlander? So obviously Tolkien. Love Tolkien. And now I'm like put on the spot, so I'm trying to remember everything that I enjoy. I think, well, Schitt's Creek right now. We really, really, really are into Schitt's Creek, though we can't watch the final season, which is a huge bummer. Oh, thanks, Nikki. That's so sweet. Okay, Zoe, I'm going to get to your other question in a minute. I'm going to finish answering this one about fandoms. We're very weird about the things that we like. Mostly we like things as a collection, like all of us together, bees, I mean, the collection of bumblebees like the same fandoms. So we only really do yarns after things that we really truly love. So obviously Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Studio Ghibli. We love Studio Ghibli. Outlander, we really like Outlander, though sometimes it's a hit or miss for me. Just because I really like the first season of Outlander, but once they leave Scotland, it kind of loses me. And I've told people some of that sometimes. I really liked season 4 of Outlander, but season 5 has gotten a little weird. I don't know. I haven't watched it all the way through, though. I've only seen parts of it. Yes, Supernatural. We all love Supernatural. Even Broby loves Supernatural. So I absolutely love it. And I've been putting off watching the final season because I just don't want to accept that it's ended yet. So that's kind of on hold. As of right now, I have been watching Sabrina on Netflix, and I'm the only one who likes Sabrina so far. So there probably won't be Sabrina colorways unless I do them because your Twilight yarn. Well, Senbee is on board to do Twilight yarn. I was a huge fan of the Twilight books when they came out. The first movie is weird, but like, you know, it's still what it is. We're just huge nerds though. Oh, production is on hold for season 15. Makes sense. I mean, there is a pandemic, so I mean, I guess I don't have to like rush through it. We just like a lot of random weird things. Like all of us bees were raised on like kind of like kitschy cult classic 80s movies, like Labyrinth and Legend, and just some other weird stuff. So that really shaped a lot of like who we are. So I don't know, like it's just there's so many things that we like, and we are readers. Like we don't just watch shows like we or movies. We did start out as readers. Heather, we are not huge Narnia fans, and I think it's because none of us grew up with it as kids, and it's definitely more geared towards children. And since none of us really read the books or watched it when we were kids, we were all kind of a little older when we did. I think it just didn't click with us. The All Souls. I've never heard of it. Is it good? Okay, I'll check it out. I mean, okay. I'll write it down. Also, I'm working on a new pattern. So that's going to be a blanket based on the Speltis design that I did for Advent this past year, 2019. So I'm going to write my notes from you guys. So All Souls Trilogy. Because I have a horrible memory. Yeah, sorry. Well, I mean, the thing is that we have to be. Oh yeah, Discovery of Witches. Yeah, isn't that like a new show too? I keep seeing ads for it, but I don't know how to watch it because it's on some kind of weird thing. Like, can you stream that for free, or do I need to get another subscription? I mean, I don't know. But I will look into it. And I always need new audiobooks since I'm almost done with the Harry Potter series, and then I'm going to need a little mini break. Sundance Channel, but can I but do I have to pay for that? A book purist. Okay, so I feel that. I feel that really hard. Actually, we just we didn't get to watch the new Little Women movie when it was in theaters, so we just bought it on Amazon and watched it. And we thought we were gonna love it, but actually, I found that it was really different than the book, and that really disturbed me, and that's a problem I have sometimes. So, yeah. Hold on. Lindsay, why are you texting me? Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, anyways, random question. If there's time, can you suggest some patterns for your new yarn bases? Okay, so I'm guessing that you're talking about the Ziggy sock and the brushed alpaca yarn, spun sugar. There's a pattern in the works. I know that Chelsea Yarns Company, they put out a pattern that I believe is a hat and a cowl where you hold that coily yarn, what we call our Ziggy yarn, but I think she calls it her cobblestone. I remember that because I thought it was cute. And then the either brushed alpaca or brushed mohair together. But basically, you can use that brushed alpaca in any of those patterns that call for mohair. You just substitute that in. You can also use the Ziggy yarn. I didn't read it out loud, Lindsay. Jeez. But anyways, stop texting me if you don't. Stop texting me, Lindsay. I'm trying to do a video right now, and you're even here. Okay, so, yes, another thing that you can use Ziggy yarn for is you can use it for literally in substitution of any sock yarn. And I think that is super cool because it's what I would do if I spun yarn like that, and I used to spin yarn like that. Overall, it's almost like a sock weight in general, and then it just has those little bumps of coils basically that make it a little thick. And those will just pop out in your knitting. So you just let them pop out and give just some cool bumpy texture, and it just makes it kind of more unique. But I wouldn't make socks out of it because if you get that bumpiness on the bottom of your foot, it's going to be weird. But basically, any other sock weight, fingering weight pattern, you can totally just use that. Like, it just livens it up a little bit. Okay, now I said, Zoe asked if we were doing self-striping yarn. Probably not. It is a huge process to do self-striping yarn. I've thought about doing it before, but there's some people who just do it so good. And I just don't want to go through the process of it because when you have to do self-striping yarn, it's even more difficult than gradients because gradients you can get like a knitted blank and you can paint it. But with self-striping, you have to like make this giant, okay, like literally like it's just like a giant skein. It's like a 20-foot skein or something insane like that. And then you just dye sections of it the same color. And I just don't want to even deal with that. So it's kind of tricky. In the Love Note sweater, that would be really pretty. I really like that sweater. It's very like simple and lacy and nice. But yeah, I think it would be really cool. Basically, you can hold a fingering weight and that spun sugar together in any like DK weight pattern, and it pretty much just livens it up a little bit, gives it like a fuzzy glow. In the shawl that my mom did and the hat I did out of it, I held Coquette Sock, our cordial nylon base, and the spun sugar together. And it really, it's really what you feel the most in it. So instead of, I wouldn't say it really matters which fingering weight yarn you really pair it with. Like, it doesn't matter how soft or anything it is. You would just want it to be, what am I trying to say? Like the way the yarn behaves, it's going to follow whatever that fingering weight you're holding it with behaves like. So Coquette fills out its stitches very nicely. Squishy Sock does too, especially if it's held together with the brushed alpaca. I think it would be great. But if you did something that was really not lacy, silky, so like if you paired it with our Bubble Sock, which is a 20% silk base, it will be a lot more drapey. So you just have to keep that in mind when you pair them up. And for the most part, you're going to feel the brushed alpaca because it just takes over the texture of it. Yeah. I think that Squishy Sock and spun sugar together would look really, really nice. Even though I just did the Coquette, I think that it would give the Squishy Sock a little bit more body to it for, say, a garment if you wanted to do that. But yeah, I don't have any other questions, I don't think, on the Patreon post. I'm just going to look real quick. Yeah, no, I don't have any other questions, so it's up to you guys to come up with things. I made a list of questions, so I can just do some of those if my notes want to load. Oh, yeah, okay, so I kind of wrote down some frequently asked questions that people ask me often, and I figured I'd answer those here. So one of them is, why so many colorways, and why do you keep getting rid of them and bringing them back? Oh my gosh, Kate. Actually, I like what Kate asked, so I will get back to my questions later because they're not as fun, but Kate asked some really good ones. Question: if you could be a zoo animal, what would you be? Okay, well, I wouldn't want to be an animal in a zoo. I mean, it doesn't sound pleasant to live in a zoo, but if I could be like a zoo type animal, Man, I think I'd wanna be something really cool, like, a tiger, like, Tiger King, man. But no, like, seriously, like, probably a big cat. I think that that would be the coolest, just because you don't really have any other predators. I mean, the other ones are super cute, though. Or a red panda. I really like red pandas. Personality-wise, I don't know. My mom always says that I'm most like a bunny rabbit, so I guess I'd just still be a bunny rabbit. You find those in zoos too, so um and what would the other bees be? I think that queen bee is also a bunny rabbit. Haliana, she's very outgoing, so baby bee, she's just a very out. This is such a difficult question. Um I think we would all be land animals. Uh, Sarah just really has an affinity for dogs. I feel like she'd be a wolf or like an African wild dog. Um, Baby Bee is so hard. Baby Bee is so much like her goats. I'd say she'd just be a goat. I know I'm picking farm animals, but like seriously, like what else am I supposed to do? Um, and Broby, I don't know. he's he's just a good steady person. I mean, I'd say he'd probably be a honey badger. He's very chill and keeps to himself, but like if he has to go after somebody, he goes after them. But I think those are horrible answers, but you put me on the spot with that. And then so we asked, are Baby Bee and Elijah going to live at the farm when they get married or move away? So they're probably going to move away. They would stay close by. So we kind of live in like a neighborhood right now. And they've been looking at houses in the neighborhood. I think that they would want to live like within walking distance, which would be nice. We're not going to let them get married for a while, and especially with COVID-19, I don't think that that's going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, no, they have plans to like start their own family, and I was like, I'm the oldest of the bees, so I was with them when they were all little children, and I don't really feel the want to be around babies all the time. Um, I just feel like I lived that part of my life already, and so I don't want them to have their kids here 24/7. Like I'm okay with seeing like nieces and nephews mm, like for half of the day or 3/4 of the day. But when it comes to like sleep time, I would like to have peace and quiet, if that makes sense. And I think that they want their own privacy too. Um, and nobody else asked anything, so I'm going to answer the question about whatever I was saying. Okay, why we keep getting rid of colorways and bringing in new ones? Like, is this a scam? Are you guys just trying to make me spend my money? Like, this is this is how I interpret those comments that people leave, and they're like, "Did you like? Why do you have to keep coming out with so many good colors?" And I'm like, they're Queen Bee and Sen Bee are artists, and they really just get gripped by these wants to dye different things, and also these desires to turn their passions into yarn. So that's kind of like the post Queen Bee wrote on Patreon a little while ago about how we turn our passions into yarn. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a personal attack on my bank account. Yeah, well, I'm very sorry. I'm really not trying to do that. Um, it's it's just, I guess the way that we feel like our business does best is if we follow our passions, like our desire to create a certain colorway or a certain type of fandom yarn or what have you. So I just kind of let them do whatever they want. Sometimes I'll give suggestions and be like, "Hey, can we just do this? Would that be okay?" And sometimes they do, but Like, mostly they're just artists and they just want to paint whatever they paint. So I just, go along for the ride, basically. I can't stop being awesome. None of us can stop being awesome. I'm sorry. That's just not that's just not an option. But well, I mean, I'm obviously joking, but I think that they do really good when I don't put too much input into their dyeing process. So if I get bossy or critical of certain things, I have to really take a step back and not, because they're so artistic about it. Like, they literally are I don't know how else to explain it. It's just like living with a bunch of artists, and if you ever make a commentary on their art, they get very upset. And so you just let them do whatever they want. And then they make nice yarn, and then sometimes they let me have it. So but yes. And then the reason why we have to retire some of them is because, well, artists get tired of painting the same thing after they have to paint 300 skeins of aria. They got tired of the aria. They said they're never dyeing aria again in their lives. That's not true. I'm going to make them dye it again someday, but that's why we had to take a break. What is Face Off? I live under a rock of yarn. Just imagine me being suffocated by yarn every day and I don't get out. But I need a sweater's quantity of aria. Same. I actually do. So I don't know what to tell Queen Bee. The problem with aria is that she is a color that is dyed one pot, one skein at a time. And that's how she turns so beautiful and melty and oh, it just is such a beautiful color. And yeah, so that's why she gets tired of it. Also, I don't know if you guys remember, but Alaskan Nights, which is that black with a little bit of rainbow in it, a Northern Lights spectrum in it, they don't want to dye that one ever again either. Actually, in 2019, Queen Bee said she was never going to dye that again. And then a year later, I tricked her into releasing it again. So I'm here for you guys. I'm here to advocate for your yarn needs. But yeah. Face Off, John Travolta, Nick Cage, 90s action. Oh, wait. No. Yeah. Isn't that when they switch faces? Actually, I think maybe I did see that movie a long time ago, but I have seen it. You do have an OG Farmers Market skein of the Alaskan Nights. Actually, you had the very first one that was it was written down in the dye book, but it was kind of a one of a kind that we weren't going to ever do. Fun fact, that was Queen Bee's first attempt at Soot Sprites Hearts Rainbows. That was her first attempt at making a colorway that kind of matched that feel. And then she didn't like it, and I'm really happy with the Soot Sprites rainbow yarn that we have now. But yeah, that was how that yarn came to be. And then we were like, no, this one is definitely more of an Northern Lights vibe. So yeah, so cool facts. Yeah, they take their faces off. Yeah. They switch faces or whatever. I remember that. I remember it was kind of weird. Doesn't someone get shot in the head in the end of that? Am I remembering that right, or is that a different movie? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I wasn't allowed to watch that movie because they were trying to preserve my innocence or whatever when it came out. Because I was rather young. I was if it came out in the 90s, then I was 7 at most. Oh, in the beginning. Okay, then I saw the beginning of it. And then I got kicked out. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, maybe. Senbee has a strained relationship with Nick Cage, as I feel like most people do. You either love him or hate him, or simultaneously both. Like who put him in National Treasure? Like, I mean, what? Like, who thought, oh, we're gonna put this guy in this role? He's supposed to be, I mean, I would think that they'd want somebody kind of cool and attractive. That ain't Nick Cage. You know what, Kate, probably before we ever do something like that, we will probably do Labyrinth Yarn. Have you ever seen Labyrinth? Have you guys ever seen Labyrinth with David Bowie? That is a great, awesome, excellent film. Has given some people nightmares, I've heard, but since I've been watching it since like literally I can remember, I don't see why anyone would have nightmares about that. I think that is an excellent film. It's just a classic. So that's one that we have to do. And I think that I think we're just going to do the whole collection on Sparkle and just no other options, because the whole movie is glittered. Like, literally everything in that movie is glittered. You just have to go with the Sparkle, right? Like, I mean, if you want to like Labyrinth, you have to like the Sparkle. That's what I really like about the 80s movies. They just glittered everything. Like, have you ever seen Legend with Tom Cruise? It's kind of like along the same lines of weird little creature things, and everything is glittered. Probably Tom Cruise's best film, but he said in an interview that it's his biggest regret, and I cannot like him since that. Sorry, Tom Cruise, but that was his best film. Never saw Willow. My friend tried to get me to watch it once when I was like 10, and I just don't think we watched it all the way through. So, like, we never saw Willow. Yeah, Sakwa, you need to just get an education. I mean, I don't know what else to say. But yes, Tim Curry. You know, Tim Curry does the voice of, what's his name? Van Helsing in the Audible version of, what am I trying to say? Of Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. So good. Like, such a good book. We legitimately listened to that all the way to Rhinebeck and then finished it on our way to SAF last fall. It's so good. Like, I highly recommend that version of it. It was just, except Mina Harker, whenever she talks, she's very, I'm Mina Harker, and this is my journal. And it's just like, she's very high-pitched. But, you know, I guess that's just females. Not that I have a problem with females. I mean, obviously, this is like a mostly women, this is a 80% women business. So, I mean, it's just, her voice was just a little striking in comparison to the male voices that compromise the rest of the book. Yes, you do need to listen to it. So that is a really good one. It's really good. It's worth buying. And then there was a free Audible original, and I forget what it's called. It's another vampire book that they had released in October. Let me look real quick. But I had us listen to that first, and then we downloaded Dracula. Look in my library and see what I have. Carmilla. Okay, so yes, Carmilla, that was a really, really, really good one too. I highly recommend that. I don't know if you can get it anymore since it was an Audible original, but it's like a novella, so it's only like 3 hours or maybe 4 hours of an audiobook. It's really good for just like 2 or 3 days of listening, or just 3 hours of a 16-hour road trip. But Yeah, so since we had so many technical issues, I figure we'll go for another 15 more minutes, and then we will stop the video, and then I can try to see if it'll let me edit these and get them into one video, or maybe I will just have to have like 4 different options for people to watch. But does anyone have any other questions that you wanted to ask? I figure next time, next month we'll just have another, probably just sit and chat, and maybe I'll bring my knitting next time, and we won't focus so much on like questions and me talking. Lindsay Sakwatri recommended maybe we'll just do a Zoom chat, and since there aren't so many of us, maybe you guys would be down for that. We have like a month to decide, so whatever you guys are up for, because I think it'd be cool if we kind of did like a little virtual knit night. Like, how neat would that be? Oh, for favorite Tolkien character in Go, Bilbo. Hands down, Bilbo is me. I am Bilbo, and like because of narcissism, I have to love the character that is most like me. No, but I think that Bilbo was a great person, and he may have Hobbit, he may have shaped who I am today. He is just, yeah, Team Virtual Knit Night. Yeah, no, Bilbo is just the cutest. He's adventurous, but hesitantly adventurous. He's brave, but kind of doesn't really think about it. He kind of just goes for it when he has to be. He's decently clever. I don't know. I feel like he's just somebody who got thrown into this journey, and he really like embraced it and did his best. And that really resonates with me. Also, him in the movie, like movie version Bilbo is just absolute perfection when he says about, they take his doily, his crochet doily, and they're like, your rag has holes in it, and he says it's crochet. And I'm just like, so beautiful. It's so perfect. Favorite member of the Fellowship, and is it the same colorway? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? Tom Bombadil. Oh, he is awesome. He is totally awesome. Oh man, we have a lot of Tom Bombadil fans. I know, like, total bummer that they didn't put him in the movie. We were just talking about that the other day. And by we, I mean the bees. We were talking about how Sen needs to actually read The Fellowship all the way through because she hasn't. And Queen Bee was saying, because just for Tom Bombadil, you have to read The Fellowship of the Ring. Oh, Tom Bombadil is my favorite Torted Tolkien color. Really? It is very bright. This month is kind of bright too. It has a lot of color in it. They did tone it down a bit. I don't know, I'm not going to give any more away, but the Torted Tolkien color this month is very good. My favorite Fellowship colorway. Oh, that's a good one. Now let me think about them. Boromir. Boromir is just such a good Fellowship colorway. Like, I just love his color. It's really a good color. I do really like Strider's color too, though. But my favorite member of the Fellowship, oh, but it's so hard. I think I'll just always love Merry and Pippin. Like, they're just, like, and you kind of need both of them because they balance each other, and they're just like, they're like this. Like, I don't know. I love Merry and Pippin. Oh, yeah. I mean, Strider, like, the color is just nice. It's just such a nice one. Though I love the greens. I really, really love greens. And I feel like we have a lot of green representation in our yarns. So sometimes that's a little tricky. And Lord of the Rings just has a lot of green in it. So doing a club based on Lord of the Rings is a little difficult because you have to get creative and not make everything just different shades of green. There is a Samwise color. He isn't online right now, but we have been talking about it. So this week for Friday, we are doing a pre-order. We're going to have a Rosebud Motel and a Cafe Tropical color. So those two colors are going to be like the only release this week. And we're going to donate $5 from each sale to 2 different charities, and more information will be on that later, but that's going to be this week. And I think the week after we might do a Hobbit update. It may be a couple weeks after that. I'm not 100% sure when we're going to do that, but it's going to be soon. It's going to be within the next 4 weeks. We're going to do a ready to ship Hobbit collection, basically. And is there Gollum color? There was a Gollum color created for the Fellowship of the Ring Advent the first year, so 2018's Advent? Yes. 2018's Advent, there was a Gollum color. I mean, I guess we could release that too. Do people want Gollum? Yeah. So part of the problem with getting the Hobbit collection out is that Lindsay is doing a pattern that's Hobbit themed, and she's doing it in all the Hobbit colors. So we're kind of waiting for her to finish her pattern, and then we're going to do a release like in tandem, so people can make the socks in those colors if they want or whatever. Okay, you guys can get Gollum yarn if you like. It's kind of like it's like a pale green gray, kind of like his skin tone. I think it has some speckles on it. I can't remember exactly because it's been a while, and I lost my Advent. I can't find it. I only have like the first 9 colors, and then I can't find the others. So we will see. I kind of have to unpack a bunch of boxes of my stash, my attic yarn, and see if I can find the rest of those minis. But I mean, yeah, I guess we could do like a few Gollum skeins. Why not? You guys can have Gollum yarn if you really love Gollum. I mean, you gotta love him, but also, wait. Lindsay, what are you saying to me right now? Hold on, guys. Oh, is this the... Okay. Hold on, guys. I will show you the socks that Lindsay is working on. Isn't this the Meridoc colorway? Wait, come on, focus. So they kind of have like a cute little waffly texture on them. So I'm very excited about those. They're actually the socks that I did my gingerbread house yarn into. They were going to be the Waffles for Everyone socks, but she changed the pattern name. Can I say the pattern name, Lindsay, or no? Yeah, it's very golden and pleasant and cute. I wish I had a way to like screen share. I don't know. I thought I figured out this YouTube thing, but I guess I didn't, and I just suck. But next time we will do better, or I will do better, and you guys won't have to go along for this crazy journey of me having technical issues. And the funny thing is that this super bad windstorm just came in, and we haven't had any disconnections. So I don't know. Also, Joey was on the internet. Broby was on the internet before, and I told him to get off. So he may be off of it now, and that may be why we don't have any interruptions. So also, I love this mug because I feel like it's straight out of the Green Dragon. Does it not look like it's straight out of Lord of the Rings? Perfect. And my tea is cold. Okay, guys, just a few more minutes, and then I'm going to wrap it up and stop taking up everybody's evening. But I hope you guys had fun. I had fun after we got over the very stressful technology issues. I had a blast talking with you guys tonight. I hope you guys continue joining us for Patreon. I always mess that up. Patreon in May, because I think that May is going to be a lot of fun. We're probably going to shoot the sheep in May. We're going to send out the wool to be made into top, and you guys can watch a video. I'm going to do a video on how we package that and send it off to the mill. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff is going to happen. It's kind of fun to just share this with you guys personally. That's another thing I wanted to say. Sharing things on Instagram can be a little difficult because just anybody can watch it. Like literally anyone in the world can watch that. But for Patreon, it's just a little bit more exclusive. And then I almost know all of you guys, like personally. We have like a personal friendship pretty much. And I know that you guys aren't like weirdos. So, well, not like the kind of weirdos that you guys are kind of weird. Some of you. I'm looking at you, Kate. I'm looking at you. But like, I still love you. But not that we aren't weird too. So it just kind of works. But yeah, no, it just feels like safer to share that. Hey, you know it's true, but it's fine. I love you. But yeah, it just feels safer to share that kind of like personal stuff in like a special crowd, if that makes sense. Like it feels like an extension of the family. That's why we call you guys SheepBees, because you guys are part of Bumblebee Acres now. Like you guys are literally part of it. So, well, you guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I love you guys so much. This was so much fun. And if you have suggestions for next month, like if you want to do like a Zoom chat or whatever, we can just talk about it in the comments on Patreon of this video. And I'm gonna try to get this all squared away and turned into one nice video, nice clean video, if that works. But you guys have a great night. Stay safe out there. Stay sane. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Bye.